Nvidia is arguably the corporation that has contributed more to artificial intelligence (AI) than any other. Nvidia has created a whole AI-friendly ecosystem of platforms, products, and AI architecture, in addition to strong GPU processors capable of handling the enormous processing demands of AI. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang is already anticipating the next big thing, a computing revolution that may make the company's current top-of-the-line GPUs seem like a pocket calculator from the 1980s. I am referring to quantum computing. Quantum computing is extremely powerful because it substitutes the binary bits of zeros and ones used in regular computing with qubits that can be both zeros and ones at the same time. A math problem that would have taken the fastest supercomputer in the world more than 10 septillion years was solved in less than 5 minutes by a 105-qubit quantum computer in a recent test. The problem is that quantum computers are now enormous, unreliable, costly, and impossible to operate without specific understanding. Huang is aware that no Nvidia GPU can match the computing capability of a quantum device, but Nvidia can make them more useful. Huang recently revealed that Nvidia is publishing Nvidia Ising, the first open-source quantum AI models in history. They are intended to support the large-scale operation of practical applications on quantum processors. According to Huang, AI is necessary to make quantum computing feasible. With Ising, AI becomes the operating system and control plane of quantum machines, converting brittle qubits into scalable and dependable quantum GPU systems. Numerous businesses like IonQ and Rigetti Computing are attempting to improve the speed and precision of quantum computers. It's a good idea for Huang to stay out of that battle. However, Nvidia is securing a place at the table by developing the means to make quantum computing widely available. And in the future, Nvidia shareholders should benefit greatly from it. According to a Bloomberg article, Nvidia's strategic move into physical AI is causing a major rally among its Asian partners as the region becomes more and more important to the chip giant's production environment. About 90% of Nvidia's production costs now come from Asian vendors, up from about 65% just a year ago. The change reflects a trend away from pure semiconductors and toward robots, autonomous systems, and AI-enabled manufacturing, which CEO Jensen Huang has described as the next big thing in artificial intelligence. The market responded quickly to the tech company's growth, with numerous local players reporting double-digit gains after learning of the partnership. Shares of Taiwan's Nanya Technology Corp. increased 10% on news of a partnership, while shares of LG Electronics Inc. rose as much as 15% on reports of integrating house robots with Nvidia's platform. Following the announcement of intelligent driving solutions and partnerships with the American chip designer, shares of Huizhou Desai SV Automotive Co. and Patio Connect Technology Shanghai Corp. also surged in China. Massive capital expenditures from American hyperscalers, such as Amazon, Microsoft, and Alphabet, which have committed roughly $200 billion apiece to AI spending this year, are fueling the momentum. According to Bloomberg data, Nvidia accounts for a quarter of Amazon's capital expenditures and nearly half of Microsoft's, which has a significant knock-on effect for memory experts like SK Hynix and manufacturers like Hon Hai. According to analysts, the expanding demand makes it possible for additional hardware providers to join the ecosystem, which will probably help tech-heavy North Asian markets maintain their superior performance. These partners' financial performance already show signs of rising demand. SK Hynix's quarterly earnings increased fivefold, while Samsung's semiconductor division recently recorded a 48-fold gain in profit. Asia's well-established infrastructure in cutting-edge hardware and robotics offers a structurally significant advantage for executing the physical AI wave as the AI build-out moves from digital generation to real-world deployment. One of the main challenges facing quantum computing today is finding a solution, and numerous tech firms are putting a lot of effort into finding ways to lower mistake rates and lessen errors. For instance, in 2024, Alphabet unveiled the Willow processor, which it said can reduce errors exponentially as we scale up using more qubits. Last year, Microsoft also unveiled a processor that is reliable by design, incorporating error resistance at the hardware level, making it more stable. However, such methods have primarily concentrated on hardware for quantum computing. Nvidia is calibrating quantum computing devices using models of artificial intelligence. According to the business, this makes error correction decoding 3 times more accurate and 2.5 times faster than conventional methods. Practically speaking, Nvidia thinks its technology will accelerate the development of quantum computers to the point where they can be applied in more practical ways. According to a news release from Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang, with Ising, AI becomes the control plane, the operating system of quantum machines, transforming fragile qubits into scalable and dependable quantum GPU systems. Nvidia could be able to achieve the same level of success with AI. Nvidia's graphics processing units, GPUs, were being used by big tech organizations to develop and test AI systems long before ChatGPT and Claude became popular. Video games, graphics, and video editing, and cryptocurrency mining were the main uses of Nvidia's processors at the time. However, the business realized the enormous potential of AI and spent time and money creating semiconductor architecture for AI systems that would hasten the sector. Obviously, the payoff has been enormous. The company's revenues have increased by over 700% during the last 3 years, while its earnings have increased by almost 2,650%. And as a result, Nvidia's stock shot up by around 668% during that time. Nvidia might leverage Ising to profit from this new trend, but it won't be able to duplicate that kind of blockbuster success in the field of quantum computing. As the technology continues to advance, Nvidia is taking the lead by providing quantum computing firms with practical tools to enhance their products. Additionally, Nvidia offers it as an open-source product, which makes it affordable and simple to use. This is comparable to the strategy the business used to promote the use of its CUDA programming paradigm and parallel computing platform, which allowed programmers to build programs that would run directly on Nvidia's GPUs. This has made it easier for tech companies to fully utilize the capabilities of the gear they use. When Ising was launched, investors in quantum computing businesses took note right away. The top quantum computing stocks, IonQ, D-Wave Quantum, and Rigetti Computing, responded to the news as follows. The market for quantum computing is currently quite limited in comparison to the AI sector. According to Resonance Research quoted by Nvidia, it will be valued at $11 billion by 2030. However, according to McKinsey, it might hit $100 billion by 2035. As with AI, Nvidia is taking a long-term approach to quantum computing. Regarding quantum computing, most people agree that the question is not whether it will be one of the next major technological advances, but rather when. In hybrid quantum computing systems, which combine quantum processors with GPU-powered classical supercomputers, Nvidia's semiconductors will probably be crucial. Nvidia is setting the foundation now to become the de facto infrastructure layer for quantum computing years from now by accelerating the time it takes for quantum computing to become widely utilized and by making its technology simple for businesses to employ. Nvidia used AI to run this play flawlessly, and with quantum computing it can probably execute it once more. As power supplies become the new bottleneck for data centers, the growing demand for artificial intelligence, AI, is revealing a severe energy shortage. Recently, Nvidia and Oklo announced a partnership that could change the way AI data centers are fueled. The three are working with Los Alamos National Laboratory, LANL, to integrate nuclear technologies with AI computing. Investors are already debating whether this agreement is a strategic move that would hasten the convergence of AI and nuclear technology, or if it is merely a headline-grabbing relationship with little real significance. Research, not hardware purchase orders, is the main focus of Nvidia and Oklo's collaboration. Fundamentally, Oklo and LANL will use digital twins, modeling, and simulation from Nvidia's AI infrastructure to speed up the development of nuclear fuels. AI models based on chemistry and physics that evaluate and refine fuels, including plutonium for Oklo's reactors, are among the first goals, according to the news media release. Along with research on power production, grid dependability, redundancy, and stabilization specifically designed for nuclear-powered data centers, efforts will also concentrate on materials science and fabrication methods for these fuels. To put it simply, Oklo is able to mimic reactor performance more quickly and precisely than using conventional methods thanks to Nvidia's processing competence. Why would Nvidia decide to collaborate with Oklo? Dense loads of carbon-free electricity are needed by AI hyperscalers, and renewable energy sources find it difficult to supply the necessary amounts continuously. With small units that can produce hundreds of megawatts without transmission losses or reliance on the weather, advanced nuclear reactors like Oklo's Aurora and Pluto designs aim to address these issues. Nvidia is investing in the very energy infrastructure that will be required at scale by incorporating AI capabilities to speed up fuel research and development, R&D, and reactor validation designs. It is using a traditional approach to vertical integration to safeguard the outcomes, computing, regulate the inputs, power. Is Nvidia's collaboration with Oklo revolutionary? Nvidia and Oklo's partnership is not just for show, it is actually strategic. It seeks to directly address the fuel shortage that has caused decades of delays in nuclear deployment. The partnership, however, is in perfect harmony with a larger industry trend toward nuclear as the preferred baseload power for AI. The market's initial response, which saw Oklo's stock rise sharply, amply illustrates this acknowledgement and the support Nvidia provides for Oklo's technological roadmap. However, keep in mind that the partnership does not automatically turn the stock into a purchase at this time. Oklo is still pre-revenue and has long building and regulatory deadlines. This indicates that there is actual execution risk and that short-term cash flows are improbable. By bringing in a top partner, the purchase bolsters Oklo's bull case for long-term investors who bought into the notion that AI's power appetite will propel a nuclear renaissance. However, astute investors recognize that although the collaboration is a significant step forward, Oklo's performance in the upcoming years will determine whether it genuinely changes the game. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
I'd love to kick things off just with your thoughts on the earnings that we've gotten this week. Some huge names, not just the Mag 5, but some big names, some big reactions, and yet we're still having an across-the-board positive Friday.
Absolutely, and it's nice to see that these earnings coming out, right? That the GDP is doing good, we're getting good earnings coming out, helping prop up the markets longer term. And it's so interesting seeing the disparity, and it's nice to see some of these other names coming into play because you have the Magnificent Seven that's really been driving the force of the markets back up so far this year, and we've got still 45 to 55% of companies in the S&P 500 that are still at a loss for the year. So it's an interesting market right now.
It is an interesting market, and I'm glad that you brought that up, that we've got, just under or close to half of the names in the S&P 500 trading lower on the year. For your perspective, what does that indicate to you? Is this rally real, or is the heavy lifting just being done by a few names, which makes it much more precarious?
That's exactly right. It's being done by a few names. 30% of the index growth is from the Magnificent Seven. And so when you take that from all the losers, there's just not a whole lot going on outside of that. So and that just tells you how much money is just being pumped into AI right now and how much money is flowing that way, that people don't care about the wars, people don't care about inflation and things that are going on. They care about, wanting to see this momentum going forward in AI. So you can see how strong that belief is, and you can see that so far in semiconductors this year.
And you call this rotation from hype to hard earnings, and I sort of love that. What's the clearest evidence you have that shift is actually happening right now, and it's not just a narrative?
Yeah, we're starting to see that shift because you're seeing a lot of money flowing into other asset classes right now. So you're starting to see money flowing back into gold and silver and precious metals, mining companies. You're starting to see it go into more infrastructure and especially as far as AI goes. That's going to be a big move moving forward as far as energy. So you're starting to see the money flowing a lot out of tech and moving into different sectors like that to get people some diversification, because you can't have everything tied to what's going on. We can't ignore it. We got to ride this train as long as we can, Marley, on the AI train. But there's going to be a certain point in time with all the money that's flowing in, just like we're seeing good earnings now. It's only going to take one big company not to meet their earnings in the future for us to start seeing a pullback.
Well, and the other thing that everybody's riding right now, of course, is the ongoing situation in the Middle East and in keeping a close eye on these oil prices and what that potentially means. We've got the oil prices rising. We've got inflation concerns here. Do you think that the market is currently underpricing those inflation risks? Because we did just hear from the Fed, and they said that they short term do see a pop, but beyond that, hard to say. Very nondescript language about whether or not this is going to be a one-off pop. What are you expecting in terms of the cascade effects once we actually have a resolution here and when that could be even?
Hey, how often is the Fed right about anything? They're always behind on everything. And hopefully as we see Powell moving out and Warsh moving in, we'll start seeing some better forecasting moving forward from the Fed. But I don't really take anything from that standpoint. And you can just see it at the gas pumps. So, you go to the gas pumps and you see it's hurting people's wallets immediately. I know here in Atlanta, it's gone up about $1.50 a gallon here in Atlanta since this whole thing started. And that affects everything. You go to the grocery store. I had to get stuff for tacos for Taco Tuesday, and it was like $70 for tacos. Granted, I got a family of 6, but the prices of everything are going up, and it's much more significant than I think is being led on right now. So I don't think it's going to be a lagging indicator of what's happening moving forward, but I think we're definitely going to start seeing a shift in that summertime, especially as people start traveling more for summer.